not looking too good right now. I just tried to send a request and the jank ended. So I don't know. You gonna see. What you gonna see. This is terrible. So all right, man. We gonna see, man. Hopefully,
What's up, man? Oh man,
What's going on?
brother, how you doing, man?
You couldn't figure out which if you wanted to wear it forward or backwards, showing the A on the hat.
You see, man, those are the world champions, my brother.
Uh-huh.
You know, we got to get that respect for a little bit. Hey, you know, we're long overdue, right?
Absolutely.
We're long overdue.
Absolutely. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm still riding that wave for a little bit. So I don't think we're gonna repeat, but we got us a nice little win today. We beat the Pirates, so we beat them 10-4.
Nice.
So we'll see what happens. We're off to a slow start, man. How you been? First off, how you been? It's been a minute.
Just got off work. I'm tired. Getting ready to watch the Yankee game and watch. I'm trying to figure out which event I want to watch. If I'm going to watch the ESPN one, the Puerto Rican fights, or the Zone Network. Probably the Zone. I want to see Munguia.
Mongia, that's your boy. That's your
That's
boy.
my boy. He's my number 3.
Okay. Well, since we talk about number 3, you know I got to ask who 1 and 2 are.
Well, Canelo number 1, and I like Virgil Ortiz number 2.
You got him that high up?
I got him that high up. I like him. I like him a lot.
What
But he's
about
untested. He's like Munguia. He's untested. You know what I mean? So
that's kind of where I'm getting. I mean, like, I would put if I would do that, I would maybe put Errol Spence or Bud Crawford at that second spot, only because of like the quality of wins. You know what I'm saying? Like Bud
yeah.
Crawford, they both got Keith Thurman, but like if I'm talking about your top fighters, it's a matter of who have you beaten. That's why I
No,
got a
I'm saying my favorite, my 3 favorite. Those are my 3 favorite.
favorite.
Not my top fighter. I mean, my top fighter. I'm still going with Canelo.
I got
Honestly, number 2. I'm not a fan of him. I mean, I respect him. Shakur Stevenson. I
man.
think he's
Listen,
phenomenal. He's on another level right now.
I was about to get
And he
into
beat
that
my
as
boy.
well.
He beat my boy Valdez convincingly.
That was actually because we got some ground that we missed. And that was actually the first fight that I wanted to ask you about because me and you, we talk a lot. We talk a lot,
Yeah.
and we talked about this fight. So I want to know what you think, man. I want to know what you think about Stevenson, and I want to know what you think about Valdez because I still think Valdez is a very good fighter. He just lost to like a generational talent, so you can only
Right.
hold that against him, but so much.
I think Valdez still has a lot to offer moving forward. He's one of my favorite fighters. I think he's phenomenal. He's got a lot of speed and power. I like his footwork, how he moves back and forth. He fights lefty righty, lefty righty.
Mm-hmm.
But Shakur is just God. He's on a whole nother level.
Boy, smooth man. That boy
And
smooth. Go ahead.
he moves, but he'll also box, and his body shots are like ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Shakur Stevenson, I'm talking about.
Yeah, and the thing is, like with Shakur, he has a good understanding of range. Like the
He
good
does.
ones, they have an understanding of range because they have the ability to hit you and be just out of range for you really not to be able to execute your offense. And they can still, you know what I mean? So like you could tell
Right.
fight man Valdez was getting frustrated. Like he was taking chances. He was
Yeah.
trying to get to him, but he couldn't. He couldn't.
Right.
So, I got to ask you this. So, going forward, I got 2 questions. Number 1, who do you see next for Shakur Stevenson? And number 2, who would you like to see in the ring with Shakur Stevenson? So, it's 2 different questions. And leave me comments too for the people that are in the live. If you want to be part of the conversation, send that request. We'll get you in here.
What is he at 130 right now?
130, yes. Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we're about to
So it's a
be.
light.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we're about to be accompanied by the champ himself,
Okay.
Marcus Chop Chop Corley. His
Cool.
face will be popping up here soon. There goes the man himself. How you doing, brother?
What's good? What's good?
Hey, nothing, man. Nothing much at all, man. You know, just sitting here talking some boxing. And I didn't mean to cut you off, man. Get back to
No.
the fighters that you were and the point that you were getting ready to make here.
So he's lightweight division. So he's in the same division as Haney and all them.
Shakur is
Or
130. Haney and them are 135.
135. Yeah, never mind. I'm not sure, really. I probably have to look at a list of names.
He'd have to go to 135, I think, to get any kind of competition because Valdez was the guy at 130, and he beat Valdez pretty convincingly.
Right.
So at this point, when we're talking about Shakur Stevenson, and Chop, I want to get your opinion on this too. When we're talking about Shakur Stevenson, he's going to have to go to 135 with the Tank Davises of the world, the Devin Haney's of the world, you know, the Vasily Lomachenkos of the world, to get the kind of competition that we want to see him in the ring with. Because at this point, he shows that he belongs with the top-notch fighters. He just needs to be tested at this point.
Right.
I agree with that. But for Shakur, I would just go ahead and just clean up the lightweight division and become undisputed at 130 first before I go to 35.
That makes sense. And it seems like that the whole undisputed thing seems to be happening a lot now, which is good to see. You know, Devin Haney, shout out to Devin Haney. He just beat George Kambosos over there in Australia. Yeah. Outboxed him, made it look good. And I want to know what y'all think about that fight too, man. Devin Haney, you know, he earned a lot of respect with this whole situation because you got the mind games that Kambosos was trying to do, called him a rat, snitch, and all that stuff. The stuff with Devin Haney's dad, you know, him possibly not being able to make it. You know, he makes it so he's over there by himself. He's got to grow up now. He grew up. He boxed masterfully. I don't think Kambosos went around. In my personal opinion, I maybe give him 2 rounds. But Devin Haney, in my opinion, in that fight, I think he took himself to that next level, going by what he did and what he had to, you know, deal with going up into that fight.
I agree 100%. Yeah. I mean, Shorty, he wearing his own shoes now. He's don't have the training wheels on no more. He's not being babyfied. And he went out there and he took care of business. I thought that fight was going to be a tough fight for Devin. But Floyd said it years ago. It's called boxing, not fighting. Hit, not get hit. And that's what Devin went out there and did. He beat the shit out.
I think so too. How you feel? What do you think about the?
I think given Kambosos 2 rounds is being real generous. 1 round would have been pushing it.
See,
I mean, Devin Haney pitched a shutout. I mean, he was just phenomenal. And I didn't see the fight going that well, Frank. Before the fight started, I didn't think it would have been that easy. I didn't think he was going to walk all over Kambosos.
Neither.
Because Kambosos really walked all over Teofimo last year. So, but now Devin Haney's got to be in the top 10 pound for pound at this point now.
He's if he yeah, I agree with you. There is no if. I agree with you on that. So I had I want to pivot because I missed a point on Shakur Stevenson, right? I put a post out not too long ago, and it's been going absolutely crazy. You know, it's reached like over 600,000 people, and like I get reactions every single time I look at my phone with this post. So obviously it's a popular one, so I'm gonna ask y'all about it. These 2 guys, they're in the same vicinity. One is at 130, one's at 135. I think these 2 guys are on a collision course. I'm gonna leave Devin Haney's name out of it for a second. I think he belongs. But the 2 guys that I want to talk to y'all about is Shakur Stevenson, we were just talking about him, and Gervonta Tank Davis. I put that post up, and people seem to be going bananas behind that. And what people think is going to happen has been all over the place. I'm hearing that there's no way Tank wins. There's no way Shakur wins. Tank knocks him out. Shakur knocks him out. I've been hearing people saying people have been saying all kind of stuff. So I just want to paint just a little scenario since it's been so popular. Let's say those two guys fight because they're one weight class apart. It's possible. Right. So what? Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. Let's talk about it. What happens?
Go first.
Me first.
Mm-hmm.
Me. So that's a good question. So I think I go back to the Valdez fight. Valdez has a ton of power. Tank Davis has a ton of power. Valdez couldn't do anything to touch Shakur Stevenson at all. I think Shakur Stevenson is on his defense is so good. I think he'd still be able to beat him. Maybe not on power shots the whole fight, but face off points alone. Kind of like how Haney beat Kambosos. He wasn't boxing Kambosos' head off with power shots. He was jabbing him. He caught him a bunch of times. We landed 86 jabs that fight.
That jab was amazing. That fight. Jabbing.
I see Shakur winning probably the fight the same way against Tank, just based off probably points and shots alone. But Valdez was never at any point even remotely close to landing a power shot. So I don't see how Gervonta Davis is going to be able to do that. So that's just my opinion. I think Shakur would beat him by points. I think he'd beat him by decision.
I respect it. What's the word, champ? I see you grinning too. You got a little smile on your face, champ. What you got? What you got for me?
Yeah, both of them fighters are amazing, man. I mean, Tank is so much strong at 35. Shakur be coming up in weight. To fight him at that weight where I don't think that'll be a good idea, but you're looking at two southpaws, both on a southpaw. So they both got to get adjusted to the punches coming from the different angle now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Shakur can sit in there and slip shots like that and take one on the arm, on the shoulder. His Tank is like a fucking truck. Shakur will have to do the thing that Floyd said. It's called boxing. Hit, not get hit. But it's just a matter of time. You're going to get caught one time. How are you going to be able to sustain that punch when you get caught?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then when we're talking about getting hit, if the guy you're going to get hit by is Tank Davis, if we're going to be real, his power is different. At that weight class, I think he spars heavyweights or people that are that much bigger than he is because of his power. Like his power is general. I'd love to see the fight. I think it's boxer puncher. I think Tank Davis is a better boxer than people give him credit for.
Yeah, he can box. He can box. He can be slick.
Yeah. He brings both to the table, but I think going back to what I said about Shakur, man, his ability. See, me personally, I like Shakur's ability as far as range, controlling range. I think like the special fighters that I've seen from a fan standpoint, and this is just strictly from a fan standpoint, they're able to control the range. Roy Jones did a good job. Floyd Mayweather did a good job of it. Shakur Stevenson does a good job of it. So if you have mastered the art of, like you said, hitting and not getting hit, which Shakur has done, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for anybody to beat him, to be honest with you. It's going to be tough for anybody. I'd love to see the fight, but there's a lot of different fights that can happen at that whole 130, 135 weight class. Like we said, we haven't even talked about Vasily Lomachenko. We haven't even brought his name up.
Who do you have in that fight then with Shakur?
What's that?
So who would you pick out of Shakur and Tank?
Shakur and Tank, I would take Shakur. I think Shakur would outbox him.
Yeah.
But I think Gervonta Davis gives everybody else problems. Because even Devin Haney, I like Devin Haney, but Devin Haney, even as masterful of a job as he's done, he has gotten hit before. He has been wobbled before. I think it was Lenard that cracked him and sent him back to the corner, kind of, disoriented it. He got himself back together. So it goes back to what I'm saying. Like, if you're going to get cracked by somebody, Tank Davis is not one of those guys in that weight class I want to get cracked. Lenard, you'll be better off. But Tank Davis, you might, because you might not get off the canvas. You might be 10, and then that's it. Fight might be over. So, who knows? Who knows? But I want to ask y'all about this. We're going to step up a little bit. We're going to move up a couple weight classes. We're going to take a little ride to 147. All right. So another post that I had up, and there has been some talks about this possibly being a fight. Jerome Boots Ennis, all right, in one corner. Love him, young kid. I think he's next up, really, to be honest with you. Another corner, we got Keith Thurman. You got the vet. He looked good his return fight, but I think in order for Keith Thurman to show people that he belongs, he needs that statement win. I'm not saying he doesn't have it in him. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the ability, but I just think he needs a statement win if he wants to show he belongs back with the Spences and the Bud Crawfords of the world. So a lot of people are picking Boots Ennis when I put it up there. Who do y'all think in that?
I got Ennis fucking him up.
Word.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So y'all not even giving Keith Thurman a chance. Keith Thurman was a chance. We're not even gonna give Keith Thurman a chance now. Come on, we gotta put some respect on my man's name. Fucking him up top. That's what we doing. Oh man, Keith. All right, but I mean, yeah, I think it's more so of not what Keith Thurman is. It's more of what Boots Ennis is.
Right.
More than anything, he's special. He's different. I think he's mandatory now for the winner of if this Errol Spence Bud Crawford thing goes down. I think he gets the winner.
What they say November for that fight?
I think they said October if Crawford Spence happens. I think they said October.
So they're saying Thurman get the winner or Ennis get the winner?
No. Ennis, Boots Ennis.
Okay.
Boots
I
Ennis.
like that.
Because the last fight that he had with Clayton was a mandatory. It was a WBO mandatory.
Yeah, Clayton got just what he deserved.
Yeah, he got washed. He got washed.
Just what he hit me in the back of the head, and Ennis caught his ass in the back of the head.
So you fought Clayton before?
I went up to 147. I went to Canada for him. Yeah.
Wow. When was this?
About 3 years ago.
So this wasn't that long ago. Wow. So he hit you in the back of the head. So was he disqualified? The fight over, or did the ref not do his job and let the fight keep going?
Nah, I mean, I didn't get up because I was dizzy as shit. I wasn't going to continue.
Yeah.
But the ref ain't say nothing when the punch hit me in the back of the head, so he got what he deserved.
I hear that, man. After hearing that, I can kind of vouch for you. I can kind of vouch for you on that. I saw a fight. What was it last weekend? I think it was Lucas Brown. He knocked the guy out. Junior Fa, I think it was. It was on the Haney Kambosos undercard, as a matter of fact. And he hit the guy in the back of the head, and then the guy, and the fight continued. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then he knocked the guy down, and then the guy got back up, and then you can see his legs were like all over the place. So that's like 2 mess ups right there that the ref did off gate, because that fight had no business even continuing. Like, he looked at the ref and was like, "Yo, look at this dude's legs. He can't even stand. Like, why are you even allowing this fight to continue?" So, yeah, stuff like that.
Didn't they call it right there? They called it right after that, didn't they?
Lucas Brown ended up getting the win. So I think he ended up getting the knockout. So, like, he's credited with the win and the knockout and everything. Right. But, like, if you go back and look at it, it could have very easily been, called a hit behind the head and a disqualification. Should have been, if you look at it. It clear blow to the back of the head. But.
That fight I sent you, did you watch it? That Jesse Bam Rodriguez?
I didn't get a chance to, man. I didn't get a chance to. I've been busy. I haven't even had a chance to really update the page.
I'm gonna tap back in right quick. Hold on.
Okay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be right back too. I gotta use the bath. Hold on. I'll be right. Hold on. If y'all are still watching, Give me a couple seconds. I'm gonna use the bathroom. I'm gonna see if I can turn and let y'all watch this. Y'all watch the fight, and I'll be right back. All right. All right. Be back. All right. All right. My bad, y'all. Sometimes nature calls. Bees like that sometimes. All right, well, let's see. Let me get these guys back in. Let's see. All right, let's see. So I don't know if this meant to happen. Oh, there you go. There
What
we
do you
go.
got his fight on?
Huh?
Who do you have his fight on?
Oh, I don't know. He said he'll be back, and then I guess once he left, the whole I don't know what happened. Like it took you out and it took him out. So
What are you watching right now? You got a fight on?
yeah, I got the Top Rank card on right now. Montellano and Gonzalez. So
That's the one on ESPN, right?
that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they got a card on the Zone right now too. The prelims of that Munguia Kelly card. Man, you know what? They gotta start doing something. De La Hoya be. I don't know, man. He got to fight somebody. I don't know what's up with this whole Charlo situation.
Yeah.
Because De La Hoya's been very vocal about Charlo these past couple of days. He's been saying that they've been trying to get Munguia to fight Charlo, but
Really?
he's saying that Charlo doesn't have any balls, and he's been hiding behind Al Heyman. So he hopes that Charlo grows some balls and fights Jaime Munguia.
Be a good fight. That'd be a great fight.
It would be a good fight. I think they both kind of need each other right now.
Yeah.
Neither one of them has been tested, to be honest with you. Like, those are two names that people want to like for good reason. They've shown what they're capable of in the ring. But what we were talking about earlier, as far as like competition, fighting the best, when you look at those two guys, you're like, okay, who are those two guys? Who have they fought that's like in the top 7, top 6, top 5 in a division? And that's the same. Yeah, it's the same reaction. It's like I can't name one.
I'll tell you that I thought the fight of the year last year was that November fight that Munguia had. He fought that Puerto Rican kid from Philly.
Gabe Rosado.
Right,
Gabe
Rosado. Did you watch the fight?
I did. Come on, man. You know that's what we do over here,
that
baby.
Fight was phenomenal. It was a great fight.
It was. You know that boxing. That's what we do over here, man. It's like work now. I have to watch this stuff. You know, so that way I can talk, at least sound like I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I can't be out here missing fights, man. So I'm thinking about seeing if I can go to some of these events and use it as like a tax write-off. You know what I'm saying? Go over I'm working, man. I'm working. So, but yeah, I saw it, man. I saw it. Munguia, he's got it in him. The talent is there. Like I have no argument. I have no problems with Munguia. Now I need to see more. I need to see. Okay, you here? Now let's see where the competition goes here. Okay, and then just keep getting better and better. You know, with
Right.
the competition. If you keep dominating people, obviously you need to step up in competition. And that's what's been happening with him.
Right.
You know, so 168, the division that he's at is there's some talent there too. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna see Edgar Berlanga tonight. 168.
Sadly, what's his name's not on the card. That he's a little bit smaller, I think. Alexander Zayas.
Yes.
That
Yes.
dude's a beast. I think he's honestly. I think he's got a lot more talent than Berlanga, and I like Berlanga. I think he's more talented than Berlanga as a boxer.
Mm-hmm.
He's like I said, he's a little bit smaller, but
Mm-hmm.
I like Zayas.
I was just going to say the same thing actually about Zayas. I was going to say I think Zayas might be a little bit more special, going by like what I saw the last fight, than Berlanga. Because Berlanga, he's had problems his last two fights. Like he fought Steve Rolls, a guy that, don't get me wrong, you know, he's a solid fighter. But
Yeah.
when you're talking about what they want Berlanga to be and what he's capable of being, then Steve Rolls then becomes a guy that you should be able to showcase your talent on.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't that, you know, it was, you know, Steve Rolls, you can actually say that Steve Rolls maybe even won that fight. A lot of people that watched it would say Steve Rolls won the fight, and the reason why Berlanga got the nod is for obvious reasons. You know, it was Madison Square Garden. He's the young guy, Puerto Rican with Xander Zayas, so there's all the reason for him to win the fight. There's nothing, you know, if Steve Rolls were to win that fight, that would mess everything up. You know, now he lost to a 37-year-old now. Who knows what happens after that with his confidence and all that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I think they're buying time with him right now, to be honest with you, because I think if Top Rank really believed in him with these past two fights, I don't even know the guy he's fighting tonight. I've been watching boxing since I was 3 years old.
I have no
I
idea.
don't know the guy he's fighting tonight.
It was funny. I was looking at pictures of this dude he's fighting. I mean, I assume he might be like Irish or something.
Mm-hmm.
But one picture, he's got a bald head, and then I saw a picture of him. He's got a full head of hair. So
Yes, you know what I'm saying?
they
It's
can't
like
even agree on which picture they're going to post on social media for this guy.
Yeah, it's like your Dennis Ugas. They had one where he had a hair and edge up and all that stuff, and then they had another, he got bald head. He cut his eyebrows off and everything. I was watching the fight with my homeboy. He was like, "Is that the same guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's the same dude." Man. So, yeah, man.
Hey, Mark Castro's got a fight on June 25th.
Okay. I gotta watch him. He's on my list. Him and Keyshawn Davis. Keep your eye on Keyshawn Davis.
I have seen him. He's phenomenal. Keyshawn is from where's he from?
You can say it. Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, is
baby.
he? Okay.
Right up the street.
Right.
I was born in Norfolk. I live in Virginia Beach, and yeah, he's right up the street. That's where Sweet Pea's from too.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen Keyshawn fight a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
But that Castro fight, it's I'm trying to figure out what card it's on, because I found the fight on online, but it doesn't. There's like a bunch of fights that night. I don't know if he's fighting on the DAZN card or what it is.
I think isn't he DAZN? I think the last time I saw him, he was DAZN, but I don't know if he's got like 5-fight deal or 4-fight deal kind of thing. You know, with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, and those guys. So, but yeah, he's on my list. I definitely need to see him.
I think that June 25th DAZN card is the card of the year so far by far.
What's the headliner?
I forget the headliner. I forget the name on it. But Castro's like the number 4 fight. I think he's the number 4 fight. Number 3 fight is Julio Cesar Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
And number 2 is that Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
Ah, okay.
And they're all on the same card. That's like 4 mega fights on the DAZN card. That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. I'm anxious to see what that headliner is. The June 25th. I gotta look that one up.
I was just looking at it earlier. It's a long last name. Super long last name.
Was it like Rungvisai or something like that, or
Something like that, yeah.
like Thailand or something like that? Because they got them super duper long. It's probably something like that.
Yeah, but that's the main event. I want to say it's for the junior lightweight title.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Those are usually the guys with the long names from Thailand and the Philippines and places like that. So
As far as you asked me about Shakur, like I feel like I can't even think of anybody else even worth fighting at the 130 class that would make sense for him. I mean, he already beat Valdez. I mean, and that wasn't even close.
130 is somebody. Yeah, there's nobody at 135. Well, at 130, no. But
he just went up to 130 because I want to say he was less than 130. I think his last fight.
I think he started off under 130, but I think his past couple fights been 130 because he fought Jamil Herring.
Right. No. It was the fight before the Jamel Herring fight.
Okay. I'm trying to think of who he fought before. I think you might be right because I don't think he had. I don't think he's had that many
junior featherweight or featherweight at 126, something like that.
Something like that. I think he may have won like one belt. I could be completely wrong. I gotta look into it, but I know he's on his way of becoming undisputed. Like Chop said though, the best thing would be to just go ahead and take care of everybody at 130. Get you undisputed in one division taken care of because like we said, there's nobody there for him. So there's no reason for him to go up and get the big fights already. He can just clean out his division. Get the undisputed, get all the belts, you know what I'm saying? And then he can go up to 135. And I don't see really anybody as deep as that. 135, 147, and I'd say 168 are probably your deepest weight classes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't see anybody in that deep 135 weight class that can see Shakur. And then like we said, we're talking about Lomachenko, we're talking about Devin Haney, we're talking about Kambosos, we're talking about Tank Davis. So you put all those people in there, and I think Shakur beats them all. Really, be honest.
I noticed you didn't put Garcia's name in there.
All right. So let me clear. Let me put how I feel about Ryan Garcia out there. All right. I got respect for the kid, man. I think he has all the talent in the world. I think he has some of the fastest hands in all of boxing.
Oh, for sure.
My issue with Ryan Garcia is that when you call out, I want to fight this person. I want to fight this person. I want to fight this person. Then it doesn't happen. People get upset with that because, like, you got a fight book and then you're already saying, hey, I want to fight Tank Davis. Bruh, you had a chance to fight Tank Davis and then you took time off for mental health, which, mental health is very serious.
Yeah.
I take that very seriously. But you've had opportunities to fight these guys that you are chirping about, and you didn't do it. So why are people going to take you serious now?
Yeah. Well, I think the first time he stuck his foot in his mouth was not last March. Last March. Right after he beat that dude from England.
What was it, Liam? Was it Liam?
No, not Liam. Luke Campbell. He beat Luke Campbell.
Yeah, with the body shot. With a brutal body shot too. Ooh, man.
So that next week, there was some chitter chatter about him fighting Devin Haney next. Right after that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the big talk. But he ended up saying, "No, I don't want to fight Devin Haney. I want to fight Manny Pacquiao."
Oh yeah.
And that was the first time you really saw Ryan Garcia stick his foot in his mouth, and he's done it ever since. But what pissed me off about it was because I used to follow him super close. Like I really liked him. But after I watched him like shun about 4 or 5 fights in the past 15, 16 months or so, it just turns me off about him. But don't say you're going to fight Manny and then say, oh yeah, it's all signed and sealed, when it wasn't signed and sealed.
Correct.
And then you turn around and there was another Spanish guy he was going to fight after that. Was it Linares?
Was it Linares? It was somebody, but he didn't end up fighting him, right?
Right. And then there was another fight with another Spanish guy. I forget what his name was. And then that's when he pulled out from the mental health thing. So now you have back to back fight, and that's not even mentioning the fact that you're already ducking and dodging Devin Haney. So that's 4 fighters you're dodging, and then he pulled out, what do you call out, Lomachenko at the end of last year.
He pretty much called out everybody. He pretty much called out everybody. Yeah.
I'll tell you right now.
Mhm.
I will give him the world of respect. If the way everything is looking is that the fight between him and Tank Davis may actually happen this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually see that. If he fights Tank, I mean, if somehow he beats Tank, I'll erase everything he ever said, because he called Tank out. He's been running his mouth, and then he goes in there and dominates him. Okay, I'll give you credit. I don't see that happening. I think Tank beats him. I think Tank knocks him out, personally.
Yeah, me too. Like the thing is with Ryan, I'll even give him respect if the Tank Davis fight happens and he puts on a good show but gets caught, because it happens in boxing. Like if he's out there in boxing, like, respect to Rolly Romero. He went out there trying to hit Tank Davis. He wasn't afraid of him. He wasn't backing up. He got caught with a good punch. That happens. But, if you just, not fight him at all and try to find every excuse not to fight him, yeah, people are going to have something to say, especially when we're talking about a combat macho sport. People don't want to hear all talk in a combo macho show me sport. We want to see some action. You know, don't get me wrong. There's nothing like a good bad guy in the macho sport, because the bad guy, they always do well. They sell a lot of tickets, so it's always good to play that villain role. I used to love watching Ricardo Mayorga start some stuff with somebody and get them riled up, that they're ready to take his head off. But he was fighting everybody, win or lose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These guys, a lot of times now, these people don't want to fight each other because this zero, they're too afraid to let that zero go. But as a fan, that zero doesn't mean anything to me, really, to be honest with you. I can care less about that zero, because if I see that zero, the next thing I'm doing, I'm looking to see who you fight. Because if you fighting people that have records of 6-38 and you're fighting all tomato cans, then is that really, how legit is that undefeated record, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Right.
But if you're fighting the top guys and you still, undefeated, then obviously that's impressive. But when we're talking about, undefeated, I got to see some names up there, man. I got to see some kind of, beating another champion or going to another weight class and doing something. I don't need you to stay in your own lane and play it safe like Darius Mikushevsky did back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people even know who Darius Mikushevsky is, but he was a world champion. He was a world champion when Roy Jones was fighting, but he stayed over there in Europe, and him and Roy Jones never fought. But he was cleaning up everybody over there in Europe, beating the bricks off everybody that came over there. And Roy Jones called him out in an interview. He was like, I heard Darius Mikushevsky wants some, so we can make the fight never happen. So, it's one thing. It's one thing about having an O, but it's another thing about having an O and fighting, tomato. I don't want to say tomato cans because I got respect for everybody that, that fights, but fighting people that at a level that you have no business fighting at. When you should be fighting top tier talent, you're fighting lesser talent, I guess is the best way to say it.
My biggest, the biggest problem I had over this past, 6 months. When did Tank beat Cruz, Isaac Cruz?
Isaac Cruz. It was late last year, I want to say.
Right, it was like November, October, December, something like that.
Yeah, in the back of last year.
Before that fight, Garcia was giving Tank a lot of lip, saying, "Hey, you're fighting a C-level fighter." And then Cruz goes out there and he did really well.
Mm-hmm.
So after Tank beats him, now all of a sudden Garcia wants that fight. Well, how are you going to take that fight when you just called this guy a chump?
Correct.
And he lost. It's not like he beat Gervonta Davis. Like, he lost.
Yep. You're right. You're
I
definitely
mean,
right about that.
actually, it was really close. It really
It was
could
a
have
good
gone
fight.
either way, to be honest with you. But technically, he lost. He lost the fight. So, but now all of a sudden, now you want this guy? Like,
Mhm.
it's such a punk move by Garcia.
I,
So
I I think he wants to try to knock him out and try to, prove a point. Low key prove a point. It's like the same guy that beat you, I knocked him out in, this however many rounds. Because when the fight wasn't made, like Ryan Garcia was pissed. Like there was somebody he saw at a fight. I don't know what relationship he has with Cruz or whatever, but he was like, "Yo, Cruz is a bitch" and all that stuff, like saying all kind of stuff. So I don't know why he wanted to fight him so bad. There has to be some kind of underlying reason why he wants to fight him that bad and is that pissed off as to why the fight didn't happen. So
right.
I think he wanted to prove a point.
I think he probably sees something in his game where he thinks that he can expose him.
It's got to be it. I'm thinking
Um,
so too.
but like you're in that weight class and you're not taking any big fights and you're still fighting the guys who are like ranked 13, 12, and 11. When you have a huge list of names in the top 10, like, and most of them are pretty much all of them are undefeated, other than what, Lomachenko.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And actually, Cruz now is I think in the top 10 in that division also, and he's got a couple losses, I think one or two.
Yeah, but he's still in good shape though, because I think
Yeah,
even losing that fight, he still won though. Because going back to what you said, the fight was so close, and not a lot of people had heard of him because that's when he was originally supposed to
never
fight.
heard of him before that fight.
Right. See, and he was supposed to fight Rolly Romero, so he was a late substitution that not too many people heard about. So people are like, "Oh, he fighting Tate Davis. Tate Davis is gonna knock this dude's head off in 4 rounds, 5 rounds." And then when this
Yeah.
dude started cracking with Tank, it was like, "Oh, okay, this dude he might be something." I've seen him
Uh huh.
fight before that, and he just completely eviscerated somebody. I forgot who it was. Like he came out and just completely blitzed this dude. It was a veteran that he fought. The name is on the edge of my tongue, and I cannot think of it. But Diego Magdaleno, I want to say, is who fought. Diego Magdaleno, he just completely blitzed him in the first round. And they would call him like the Mexican Mike Tyson after the fight. He came at him like Tyson, just completely bum rushed him. So I was impressed with him when I saw him then. So I knew like it was going to be an interesting fight. I still had Tank winning by knockout. But, after seeing that fight, man, Cruz will give anyone. I think he can beat Garcia, really, to be honest with you. I think he can catch him with something. Who knows? That's the sport of boxing. It happens. But one last fight I want to get with you, man, and I'm gonna let you go because we got us a good night of fights. Let's get
Yeah,
ready to go.
my food's about to be here in like 30 seconds.
Yep. So the last one, Charlo 154. He's undisputed champion now. Shout out to Charlo. Tim Tszyu might be his mandatory. What do you think about potential Tim Tszyu and Charlo fights before I let you go?
When were they talking about doing that?
Probably later on this year, I would imagine. Probably.
I've watched Charlo. I haven't seen much of Tim Tszyu at all. Is he the son of Costa Tszyu?
He is the son of Costa Tszyu. Yep, he's tough. He
Pretty
just beat Terrell Gausha not too long ago.
okay. Yeah, I saw that he had a fight recently. I haven't watched him at all. So he's pretty good.
He's tough. He's might say some people say might be a little bit better than his pops, which is tough because his pops was a savage. I love
Oh yeah,
watching his
yeah.
dad fight. His dad was amazing. But yeah, Tim Tszyu's a good fighter, man. If you get a chance, check him out and let me know what you think, man. I think they're gonna try to make that work. Probably October, November, something like that.
Which fight do you want me to watch?
Of Tim Tszyu, watch the Terrell Gausha fight, the most recent one. Watch
Okay.
the one that just happened a couple months ago, and let me know what you think about the potential matchup, and then we'll go from there.
All right, man. Sounds good.
All right, my brother. Hey, man. It's always good talking to you, man. Always love it when you stop through, man. So I definitely appreciate you taking time in your day to talk boxing with me.
Yeah, man. No problem. Enjoy the fights.
Hey, man. You do the same. We'll be talking, my man.
Yep. Talk to you.
All right,
Bye
brother.
bye.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. It has been real. I love doing this, man. Like if you asked me when I was little, what is one thing that you want to do? One of the things that I would say is like I just want to watch boxing and just be able to talk with different boxing fans throughout the entire world. That would make my day. I have a chance to do that. I have all of y'all to thank, man. I'm beyond grateful. We're gonna make this thing rock, man. Like I said, we went from 1,100 followers to 1,700 in like 5 days. So this is one of the best places to talk boxing. I'm forever grateful for y'all. Thank y'all for everything. I will see y'all next week. Thank y'all for everything. Peace. See y'all later.